Hello guys, Lit here. So today's video I want to test a strategy that I do early on the league, which is Strongbox with containment. People usually do it on T17, and for me personally, as soon as I get into T17, I will start to do this strat, because this strat early in the league is really powerful, but the strategy I think is still pretty good. So I want to test it, but not on T17, but I want to test it on T16.5 egg mod, because I think T16.5 egg mod is a better maps. Now before we get into the setup, I want to talk about the downside of the strategy. This strategy have a downside on the liquidation parts, because it gives you a lot of definition card, and a lot of the definition card give you a lot of bubblegum currency, which is something like give you fusing, give you regret, and making fortunate, give definition card and alterations and all that stuff. So you have to convert all that definition card that give you bubblegum currency into the bubblegum currency itself and sell all that bubblegum currency. With Faustus it's a lot easier, but it's still a tedious process. And in this test itself, I basically convert all the definition card that can give me bubblegum currency, and whatever left from the stack, because definition usually it comes with stack. If you do not have a full stack, you cannot really convert it into currency. So with the definition card that do not have that much value, I would just exclude it from the test. And that's why when you see on the spreadsheet, the list of definition card I put there is pretty short, because I only going to put a definition card that have a good value. So I'm not inflated the number, and that also make it easier to see the data. But in practical sense, there is a lot of definition card that you need to turn in to convert that into the currency. So that's a downside of the strategy. And another thing about strong boxes is this strategy is popular because it can make a decent amount of currency, but it also have a high ceiling or jackpot. Yes, the chance is low, but if you hit like 2 Mirror of Calendar, that's insane amount of currency. To Apothecary, that's also an insane amount of currency. So there's a reason why this strategy is popular, because it make a decent amount of currency, and it also have like a very high ceiling jackpot. So that's what I want you guys to keep in mind when you see the result of this test. And with that said, let's move into the setup. The first one is the map. I'm using T16.5 egg modded, and I also scribe Mesa in the Dune, and that's why you see quite a lot of fortunate card on the spreadsheet. And for the map itself, I'm looking for higher quantity, around 190 plus, but if you have high amount of more currency, like 200 plus more currency, 170 coin is fine. In my maps, I have some of them like that, and some of them have like pretty good amount of scarabs, pretty good amount of currency, so I'm okay with 170 quantity. But ideally you want to have like high amount of quantity, and in this one I'm looking for more currency, so all my map have at least 100% currency. And in my own maps I also have like a little bit scraps in it, a little bit more maps in it. Ideally you also want to have like more scraps and more maps in the map itself, because we do get quite a lot of scraps. And the reason why I'm not focusing more on scraps, because I use my map with more scraps on the Blight Heart, so I only have the more currency one. I think more scrap will be more profitable, because even with more currency maps, I still get a decent amount of catalyzing, decent amount of containment. So focusing on more scrap is probably a more profitable one. But in this case, I do focus more on the more currency part. And for the scrap, I'm using ambush scrap of containment, one ambush scrap of hidden compartment, and ambush scrap of discernment. And the last two will be cartographic scrap of corruptions and cartographic scrap of escalations. These two scrap will help us sustain the T16.5 egg modded. If you decide to buy the maps, you can replace these two scraps with ambush scrap that will give you more boxes. And with that, you will have more loot, but your cost will also go up. And for the Atlas 3, this is the Atlas 3 that I'm using. A lot of map modifier, a lot of quantity, and a lot of scarabs. And this is also the reason why I'm saying that taking more scraps on the maps will probably result in the better profit. And I do not take any altars here, because this is a containment strategy. You're not going to get any altars unless on the bosses, but after that I don't get any altar at all. So there's no reason to put point on altars. So that's for the setup. And next one, let's talk about the result. For the cost of the strategy is pretty expensive, so this is a very high budget strategy. So the cost per map is like 1.3 divine, because containment is really expensive. And on the loot session, we get like crazy amount of bubblegum currency, and this is from 20 maps. 14 divine, 15 exalted, we got like shit ton of chaos, 900 something chaos, and we also get like a lot of alteration, fusing, jeweler orbs, and all the bubblegum currency. And this is the reason why I'm saying that this is very good on early in the league, because fusing, alterations, regret, all that things have a really good value early in the league. On this point of the league, the prices already go down, but some of them does go up. For example, like Faldo early on the league is like 30 to 40 C. Now it's like 80 to 90 C. So some goes down, some goes up, but considering how much bubblegum currency you get, this strategy will be a lot more powerful early in the league. And on the card, I do get quite lucky. I get 2 Immortals. And in this case, I do included it because it's a part of the strategy. But if we remove that one, that will reduce the profit by quite a bit. I will show it at the end, how much the profitable without and without this card. And we got 20 Valdo, which is quite a lot. On the map side, the 16.5 of course will be 0 because we're going to use the map again. And the T17 from the cartography strongboxes will be corrupted. I will put 0 price on this one. Corrupted fortress doesn't always sell that well, so I will just assume that you're not selling this because it's corrupted. We got 14 that are normal, not corrupted, so this one we can sell. And we got a lot of scarabs. So this is a result of the testing, and so we make 62 divine profit. The map takes around 6 minutes per. It can be faster, it can be slower depending on like how creepy your map is. Like if you have a map like with unstable tentacles, that will make things longer. And if you have a lot of proc on the opening on the strongboxes, it's also going to make it a bit longer. But I think the average is around 6 minutes, and that makes the divine per hour into a 31 divine, which is not as much as Blight. And if we remove the Immortals, and the profit going to go down to 47 divine, and the div per hour is like 23 div per hours. Not too bad, but not great either, especially if we compare this to Blightheart, which is Blightheart is a lot cheaper to start, but Blightheart is harder, like a lot harder than the Strongbox. Strongbox is a lot easier strategy to run, but once again, Strongbox always have the jackpot, and that's kind of like an appeal for the strategy. But 23 divine per hour, I still think this is a pretty decent strategy if you want to run Strongboxes, or if you get bored with the Blightheart, or if you get like a lot of map with more currency, why not just drop it on the strongboxes? I think it's still a pretty decent strategy. So that's basically conclude the test, and if you guys have any questions, as usual, leave in the comment below. I will try my best to answer it. And if you have another strategy that you want me to try, leave in the comment below. I do want to try Abyss, but I do not have a character that have access to custom mastery, because in order to do Abyss, you need to have custom mastery, and Abyss is a very good strategy. I do it last league. It's a very profitable strategy, but one caveat is you need to have custom mastery, which right now the build that I'm playing do not have access to that, and I do not want to click all that Abyss boxes. And one last thing, if you like the video, consider like and subscribe. That will help the channel a lot. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.